stretch as we get ready for the 34th running. That's turn 2, and it leads into our points. And remember, we had points last night scored at Twin Ring Motegi, which means right now Elio Castroneves leads Scott Dixon and Danica Patrick. And as you notice down at the 12th spot, there is Graham Rahal. And remember, the winner here will pick up 50 points. So these guys could get right back into the event. Let's go trackside.
Hey, the kid's going good. The kid's learning. And you know what? Don't take offense. Looks a lot like his mother. Pretty.
Thank goodness. Right?
Yes.
Go, Bobby, go.
For time, heads up. Here it comes.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Cool. That happened. Thank you, Bobby.
Well, some different things in this series and the other series that we've been covering for a little while. Push to pass, each driver gets 60 seconds of extra power, 50 horsepower, and also 300 extra RPM. The tires, different options here, the regular black wall tires and the red wall tires, which we'll bring you up to date on throughout the race here today. Race strategy, it's going to be up to the engineers to put all those pieces of the puzzle together, the push to pass, when to use it, when to use the tires, the option tires that Bridgestone gives you, and when to put that package together best throughout the race to give their driver the best chance to win here today.
And something else you'll notice different from the IndyCar series with the Indy Racing League, a standing start. When those 4 lights go full light, then they'll go dark. And when they go dark, the race is on. You heard Justin Wilson talking about wheel spin at the start. The back of the pack still coming into play. We should be about 10 seconds from the start of this race. You'll hear the revs of these turbocharged engines. Another difference between the two. There's the first, second, third. Here we go. Wow, what a start by Will Power. Did you see him cut around to the outside? Look out for turn 1. Justin Wilson on the left of your screen. Will Power dives for the lead and gets it.
You know, the pole sitter, Justin Wilson, got an opportunity, Marty, to choose whether the driver's left, driver's right. On the start, he chose driver's right. And sometimes you make that decision, and sometimes it goes against you, like we had in this situation here where Will Power slipped up the inside.
We're being told it is a full course yellow on the race course. We do not know why. And we have a car stalled now on the front stretch. And there it is. It's one of the KV racing machines. It can't make out the number.
And now he got just pulled and restarted. Looks like Oriol Servia.
Yes, it was. The 5 of Servia. Back here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, and we're back to green flag racing with Will Power in front of Justin Wilson, Alex Tagliani, Frank Carrera, and Paul Tracy. That's your top 5. And again, on the restart, Power nails it.
Perfect timing coming out of that hairpin, and a great run right now. Paul Tracy down the inside. Timed that one perfectly past Frank Carrera coming out of the hairpin.
Tracy says, rookie, I'm coming through.
Remember, this is Paul Tracy's possible last race in the IndyCar. It's his last race for the Foresight Racing team. He's sort of been put on hold since the beginning of the season with the merger. And he said that he would love to be in the IndyCar from this point forward, and he's hoping that will happen starting at Indianapolis.
The truth about Paul Tracy is he has always been known as a very aggressive driver, to say the least. It would be a shame if he wasn't a part of the new joined union in the Indy Racing League. And hopefully somebody will say they want to sign him and get him back in the race car. And there he is right now running in 4th. And boy, that bump right there, you can see it rattles your tooth.
Well, it's a compression bump, and it's been there even when I was driving here, Marty. What it does is just put so much pressure on your spine and really jars your neck into your shoulders. When you finish this race, as Paul clips the wall with that right rear, spins the back end of the car out just a little bit, recovers though. Maybe he will get past down the end of the straight. That's usually a loose speed coming out of here, but just to finish my thought on that last bump there, it just puts compression on your spine, and man, it's hard on you.
Here comes Pereira. Is trying to take advantage of Tracy's mistake, and he lights him up, and he's going to go on the runoff area. Now he's got 2 options there. He can turn, or he could go all the way through.
Oh, there you go.
And now he just spun off the right rear tire. Remember when he hit the wall?
That's exactly what happened. The tire is flat now.
No! Almost got run over by, it looked like Roberto Moreno.
And you know he's not going to drive that thing back there slow, that's for sure. What he ended up doing was breaking the outside of the rim when he clipped the inside of the wall in turn 11.
We had a crash. That is Mario Marias, as he has hit the wall hard.
That's in the exit of turn 1 going into turn 2 by the looks of that. And looks like it wasn't even close. When you move the tire barrier as much as he did there, then he wasn't dealing with inches. He was dealing with feet. Car. Here he goes right now. Just a little bit too much speed, or he got caught on the outside. Either way, he did not have the preferred line going in.
And we're back to green flag racing as you finish up, Brienne. And out front is Will Power, but Justin Wilson looking to make a move to the inside. Got a battle for the lead. Can he make it stick? Who's got the better brakes? Power holds him off.
Wow, what a great dive into turn 1. A lot of pressure from Wilson going on Will Power, but I'll tell you something, he's making it known that he has a fast car. It was a better restart this time than the previous time. He just wants to let him know that he's not going to let him run away. Cool. Not so here. There's only one position for fuel. It's 100%. And what's going on now?
Trouble.
Off to the side.
Trouble for Justin Wilson. He has pulled up and out as he has made his way into the runoff area. Now, we talked about this before when Tracy went off. You can go through here.
Well, and I got to believe that he knows that he is done, because he did not even attempt to make turn 1. He was going down the main straightaway and went off to the right. And you can hear the engine right now is not running. So something happened with it, and he got offline, made the racing room available for the other cars on track. A very professional move.
And right behind Alex Tagliani, right there is the rookie Frank Carrera. Carrera, the 2006 Toyota F1 test driver. This is his first Long Beach start. First start in Champ Car in the very final Champ Car race. And doing very well right now as he is running in third behind Will Power, Alex Tagliani, and in front of Montigny and Graham Rahal. That is your top 5, and that is Justin Wilson with the longest walk in motorsports all the way back to the pit. Well, what we're hearing is potentially 3 laps to pit for our race leader, Will Power. We're working lap number 29. It would all fit together when you come back to join us. The streets of Long Beach are alive with the sounds of turbos as we're getting ready for pit stops here. In fact, we're getting word that Alex Tagliani, second place right there in the number 15, will be pitting this time by. And yes, he makes the turn into pit lane as we're working lap number 30 here at Long Beach. And also, it looks like Will Power has made the turn into pit lane as well.
Here we go with Nelson Philippe, just number 4, sitting here on the side of the track. That looks like turn 11, the tight hairpin, which is usually taking up 30 miles an hour. Now, he is offline, Marty, so maybe he had a mechanical problem and he just tried to get out of the way.
Meanwhile, we check back in with Will Power, and we'll wait to see how it falls into place. And we're now being told there will be a full course yellow. And you saw Paul Tracy get around Oriol Serbia. Don't know if that happened before the yellow came out. It was awfully close. We'll wait and see what the race officials say. Well, we'll wait and see what race control says, because
3 car is not cooperating.
And you just heard on the radio.
Pit this time, buddy.
3 car not cooperating.
So race control, Tony Kottman can turn around and pass along the message and say that the 3 car needs to be behind the 12.
I just love this. When was the first time you ever heard that line? The 3 car's not cooperating.
Yeah.
When does Paul ever cooperate? But that's going to be one of the reasons we need him in the Unified Series. There is your race leader. Looks like everybody's coming in. Let's send it to Jackaroon.
Guys, Jimmy Vasser on his get off the couch tour, as he likes to call it, is coming in for a stop. Now watch, he will go from the black tires to the red tires, so he's going to the stickier tires. This is his second stop. Let's check in now with Jamie Little as they complete the stop here for Vasser.
And EJ Viso is in. They actually put some scuffed red tires on this, fueled him up, and he's down and away in that 33 machine. EJ Viso making his first Champ Car start. Marty?
And there you see Oriol Serbia. Also, he has put the reds on, so he's got the alternate. And Paul Tracy, they've got a problem. They're checking underneath on the left side, looking at the CV joint.
And we had that report earlier that he felt that there was a CV joint going. That's part of the drive shaft. So if that happens, then the situation for Paul is he will have no drive to the rear wheels, and he would be out for the day if that is indeed the case.
Back to green flag racing, and Roberto Moreno pulled into the pit lane. He was the race leader, but he pulled in just as we go back to green flag, so he surrenders the race lead as we are working lap number 34. And that is Will Power going back to the race lead. So Power in a very familiar position out in front of the field with 58 minutes remaining in this race.
Well, now what Antonio's trying to do is to actually make a pass and get past Will Power, be in front of him so he can be on the tail end of the lead lap. And you can see Alex Tagliani trying to make that move all the time. And
whoa, Carrera goes under Domínguez and makes it stick. Nice pass by Frank Carrera. That's exactly right, Jack. Another difference between the Champ Car and IndyCar Series. Over in the IndyCar side, several settings for fuel. Here, as Jack pointed out, just your right foot.
And that's exactly true, and that's why drivers really have to be conservative. And the nice thing about here,
the push to pass if you have to.
saying the push to pass if you have to, and wondering if that might be a message going to Alex Tagliani so he can pass the lap vehicle. And yes, indeed, and he gets it done.
And take a look there as there is the 36. That's Enrique Bernoldi getting around. He gets around Domínguez.
For you.
And that's Pizzonia's radio. They were trying to get his lap back for him, and it went the other direction.
Well, I think what happened is that Alex Tagliani had the same idea, and he probably ended up pushing the button just a little sooner to make that drive down into turn 1.
Well, and one thing we should point out about Graham's paint job, if that looks a little familiar, like maybe from the days when Nigel Mansell was driving for that team and Mario Andretti, it is. It's a retro paint fit. And let's talk a little bit more with Jackaroo. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Graham's getting dicey. Look out. So much for worrying about points.
Well, they're both taking advantage.
Oh, and he gets hit. Montagnier gets into him, and he goes around. Does anybody tag him? No. He's going to lose a lot of positions here.
That was a brave move on the outside of the turn, because sometimes you can make it work, sometimes you cannot. But what he was trying to do was try to be on the inside for turn 11. Boy, he can find reverse very quickly. Now light that thing up and spin it sideways if he doesn't have the thing stalled. What a great job. Here we go again. Now this is turn 10 around the outside. That left rear Graham Rahal just gets touched. And boy, he is so fortunate not to get taken out by the other cars. Boy, and this is a tight line, Marty. Up over the curbing, and he actually starts just to rub the wheels together. And here you go, you're fighting, the adrenaline's going, you're not going to give up, and now you're going, man.
And he has dropped back to 15th position and is a lap down. So a very costly maneuver for Graham Rahal, our winner 2 weeks ago. And as we talked about the big picture of things as these drivers move on down the road, our first incident between a driver who's trying to make an impression, Frank Montagnier, trying to win a job with somebody, and Graham Rahal. And there is the race leader, Will Power. He has gone 26 laps since his last stop. We are in the window. One more stop, everybody should be able to make it based on the calculation of 30 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the race. It is right now Power, Tagliani, Montagnier. Mario Domínguez has now moved up to 4th through the pit stops, and Oriol Servia is 5th. You're asking where is Rahal? He's up to 7th, but he still has a stop to make. And it looked like Tagliano just pulled off right there. Yes, he did. He ducked into pit lane. And this will be his last pit stop as he makes his way towards Jackaroo.
And Alex Tagliani will take on the Bridgestone Reds. They will go with plenty of fuel. They're going to pack it in, so it'll take longer for the fuel than to put the tires on. This is the opportunity that they've waited for since they had their pre-race meeting. Now they will give the green light to full power to Alex Tagliani.
So Tags gets back out onto the track, and he'll try and track down that man right there who has been in control, Will Power. As we've had a total of 3 leaders, 4 different lead changes, but it's really been Will Power in control of this race for the most part.
Will Power has said next to nothing this entire race, and I'm told by the team that means a good thing. He loves his car. No changes expected once again. They're going to take off some blacks, and Scotty, you were talking about what tires. They're going to put blacks on there, 4 of them, gas them up. They hope this is a money stop. Will Power just about down and away. Fuel takes longer than tires, and he's away. Marty?
All right, thank you, Jamie. And the question will be, who ends up with the lead? It should be Mario Domínguez, as he would be next to cycle through. If he has pulled into pit lane, we'll find out. We'll see how it all sorts out here at the streets of Long Beach. And we can tell you that there is Tagliani, and that's Montigny. That is for position, and boy, Tagliani just takes it away from him.
Will Power, a faster in-lap, a faster out-lap. We'll have to see if he can complete that whole package together now. But he put down some great times there once he knew that his pit window was open and he had to get in.
Now, according to scoring, that is for third and fourth on the racetrack. They're showing Domínguez in second place, although I did not see his car go by. And they did show him going into the pits the same time Will Power had went into pit lane. So we'll find it out. We'll sort it all out when we come back to the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Let's get back to the action now, as she was the other lady to win yesterday. Of course, Danica Patrick became the big winner in the story, and you can take a look. That's Alex Tagliani, as he is now in second place. When we went to break, we were told, we were going to cycle out and figure out what happened with Domínguez. And yes, after the stop, Domínguez came out in fourth place, and we wondered why we didn't see him there, but scoring finally corrected it. So it is Will Power, Alex Tagliani, Montigny, Domínguez, and Frank Carrera. And there's Montigny, as that's your top five. And with less than 20 minutes remaining, it's now crunch time for a lot of these teams. Guys that want to try and pick up some ground, like Graham Rahal, Paul Tracy, they're over 30 seconds back. They're going to need a yellow to get back into this. Stay with us. Third. Let's take you back to what happened heading towards turn 9.
Got a great drive off of turn 8 because Tagliani started to get the back end sliding around just a little bit, and a perfect timing to turn around and use a little bit of that power to pass to make that move on Tag, and you got it completed.
You're looking at the battle for second place here at the streets of Long Beach. And I should say, let me correct myself, it's the battle for third, as we got Will Power in front of Montigny, Tagliani, and Domínguez, and that's Domínguez all over the back wing of Alex Tagliani. And the time is running down, 9 minutes and 42 seconds. Let's get more from Jamie Little.
Well, guys, what a run for Mario Domínguez. He started 16th, or he's worked his way up. He started 10th, actually. He's worked his way through the field. A big day for Pacific Coast Motorsports. This is a second-year team, and they're expected to make a big announcement next week that will involve their participation with one team in the IndyCar Series. They haven't announced their driver yet, but I have a feeling that this man, Mario Domínguez, will be at the Indy 500. Stay tuned next week for more on that. So great run for him right now. Mario Domínguez running fourth. Marty?
And we're back here at the streets of Long Beach, as Will Power is in front of Montigny by 4.7 seconds, and then it's 17 seconds back to Mario Domínguez in his battle for third, fourth, and fifth with Alex Tagliani and Enrique Bernoldi. And joining us in our booth is the winner of last night's race from Motegi, Japan. We are told we are on the final lap here, so we are on the final circuit for Will Power, and he has a 5-second lead over Frank Montigny. Domínguez is third, another 11 seconds back. Bernoldi is fourth. Carrera is fifth. So here's the gap. There is second place Montigny. And then third is a long way back. So it's just a matter now of Will Power, who has been doing so well today. And here he comes down Shoreline Drive for the final time. And there is your winner, Will Power at Long Beach. Let's take a look at the results. There were 13 cars on the lead lap, and you can see behind Will Power, Frank Montigny, Mario Domínguez, Enrique Bernoldi, Oriol Servia. That's your top five. And then there's Jimmy Vasser in 10th. Paul Tracy did come back to finish 11th. And the last car on the lead lap, 13th, Graham Rahal, and you saw what happened to him into turn 9. 4 cars did not make it to the end: Moreno, Anala, Wilson, and Marias. Congratulations to our winner. That is Will Power. For Scott Goodyear, Brian Pettigo, Jamie Little, Jack Root, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Marty Reed. Till we meet again.